G'day everyone. Proud to say Bar Karate is brought to you by Radix Nutrition, makers of the most technically comprehensive nutrition products that have ever existed. Unlock your potential with Radix. G'day listeners, welcome to Bar Karate, the sailing podcast. My name's Jordan Spencer. It's that time of the week where we get to hang out with some really cool sailors. But of course, I have to share the mic with my two globally wandering idiots. First off, Mr. Brett Perry.
Greetings, Exalted One.
BP.
G'day world, how is everyone?
It's the Flamenca BP.
Hey lads. Yeah. Sorry about that, but no, she's all right, isn't she?
Yeah.
You'd be proud of me, lads. I've bought a bike.
Oi!
And
Ooh.
yeah. And I've gone and done some riding. Now, Portugal. Have you done some riding in Portugal, Bicey?
Oh, mate, it's just like being in the backyard in the Adelaide Hills.
Absolutely. But I was riding along and sort of as you are, you know, when you're riding, you get into that meditative state and you're cruising along. And I was thinking about the cobble roads. You know, the little square rocks.
Yeah.
Where do they make them? Because there's a shitload of them.
Yeah.
Going, my God. And they're evenly placed perfectly.
I don't know.
And every road, even in the villages, even on the way to the villages, every road.
Yeah.
I'm my mind blown. Anyway, I'm, riding my bike and, so they don't make seats like they used to, eh? Got a bit of a sore rear.
You hit those things when it's wet and try and turn the corner, mate.
Well, I'm not on a road bike. I've got a nice mountain bike, but tell you what, it doesn't make it any more comfortable.
No. Well, let's bring in the other bloke so he can fully extend the conversation.
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
Mr. Nick Bice.
Maybe you should start counting them, BP.
I'll tell you what, it's the factory that's got me going. I mean, where do they make the bloody things?
Yeah. No, if you take them out, turn them over, there's a barcode on them, and it gives you the...
you can check which year they were made.
Where they were made. And who the technician was, the cobbler.
Yeah. Who put them in? I've
just got this vision of these little guys sitting down with a bit of a sandpaper and a chisel flattening these rocks out.
Yeah.
My God, there's millions of them. Anyway.
Yeah. Sailing podcast is going well.
Yeah,
going good. Sorry, I've been thinking about it since yesterday and I can't help it.
Boys.
Well, you'll be pleased to know I'm just fresh out of Saint Tropez. They have much bigger ones than Portugal. The cobbles. So
this is the best sailing podcast ever.
Yeah.
I think it's just because they're lazier.
Coming to your live, gents, I'm surrounded in royalty and I'm expecting my coffee to be delivered soon.
Yeah.
I'm in the studio of one of the most profound yacht designers of our time, Jan Verdier.
That's fantastic.
I might just start moving a bit of shit around.
Get the pencil out, do some drawing.
Why does that cup boat now look like a interesting
A4 piece of paper?
The rainbow cup boat on its way. I love it.
Yeah, I'll get the T-square out and draw the rainbow.
We're on a time restriction here.
All right, we'll get going.
Yeah,
just say no, boys. It's windy here, so I've been dinging my wing today. Just saying.
Good on you. Well done, Wang.
And I've just discovered the most dangerous thing in the world. It's called trying to learn to jibe or wing foil. My God, because that foil comes at you when you crash. That foil comes at you quick.
Any success yet?
What, jibing or getting stabbed?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, a bit of both.
A bit of both.
Yeah.
Well, we can ask,
which is upside down in my garage.
Oh yeah,
that stabs me just when I walk past it. Yet to see water, but
well, the good thing for you, my friend, is I'm making all the mistakes, so I can share you the tips. Tricks.
Cool. Well, that's how we roll here. We get you to go out there and crash test. I mean, everything you see.
If we were smart, we could get like a really experienced foiler on the show and ask her lots of questions. Can we think of anyone? How about tonight's guest? Shall we do that? Today's guest, this week's guest? Shall I bring
good
her
segue
in?
From cobbles to foiling? I like it.
That's clever, wasn't it? Our guest today, this week, is a Kiwi, so we'll have to speak slowly, and is one of the highest profile Kiwis. She's trying to stop laughing. You can laugh. That's what we want. So part of the Kiwi foiling generation, so in the NACRA 17 sailing with Jason Saunders, the world champion in the Red Bull foiling generation, in Team New Zealand in the SailGP since 2019, under 23 world champ in the NACRAs, I'm pretty certain. Grew up in the rural world, so it's an interesting pathway to getting into sailing, and as now is the skipper of the live ocean racing team, obviously in the Ep230s. So we're pretty keen. So sailing a lot of different foiling craft, and has extremely bravely put her hand up to talk to three idiot Aussies, and share some intelligence that we clearly don't possess. So welcome to Barkarati, Liv MacKay. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to a bit of a chat with you guys.
It was all a bit last minute, I'm sorry, but you popped up on my feed with the ETF 26 regatta going on, and I thought, that'd be an interesting chat because it's a cool looking boat, and it sort of mixed in with Bicey's situation, so it was good.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think we just finished last night, so hopefully bringing a fresh bit of fresh chat this morning. But I think, it's exciting to talk to you guys.
Hey, before we get into sailing, I just want to ask, how's your family doing? Because I know you got hit pretty hard in the floods. So how's the family doing? Because you are farming stock.
Yeah, it's definitely it's been a hard year. Kind of throwing me left field that you would know about it actually, which is interesting. I think with how it happened in February with the cyclone, it was definitely brutal. We own an orchard and a farm, and both of them got pretty decimated. So they're doing okay actually, but it's been a tough year, that's for sure. Yeah,
right. Well, give them our best, every farmer and every person that, you guys suffer sometimes. And so it was a tough time for New Zealand.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully a better summer this time around though.
It's a way to segue into how the hell does an orchard growing farm lass, who's 50 minutes from the nearest bit of water, learn how to go sailing?
Yeah.
Like, where does that come from?
Yeah, but definitely random. I think what happened with none of my parents sail either. My mum actually gets seasick standing on a boat on land, so don't get it from her. But my dad's best mate was really into it, and he's really involved with the Napier Sailing Club, and kind of got dragged along with my older brother, got into it through his kids, and basically just the social aspect was about 10 to 15 kids at the club and loved hanging out with them, and got involved in that way, and then obviously had heavily committed parents with the commute. Yeah. I don't really appreciate that now, but they drove back and forth, and I actually went to boarding school for 7 years, which was 40 minutes the other way. So sailing in school, I actually didn't do that much training. Probably not created the best habits with it, but I really appreciate what they did and the effort they put in to put me where I am right now, I guess.
So what do they throw you into in Napier when you roll up?
Opties?
Yeah.
You mean type of boats? Yeah. Went through Opties and then went into 420 with Youth Worlds, and then had Jim Maloney as coach at Youth Worlds on the last night. Of course, no alcohol involved. He was really pushing for me to move to Auckland afterwards and not go to I was looking at going to Dunedin, which I don't know if you guys...
Oh, I know Dunedin very well. Don't worry about that. The hospital's beautiful.
Think about it. Think I might have gone down a different path. But really encouraged me to move to Auckland and get into the NACRA, which has been awesome.
Well, they've done something right. Even though you didn't do much training, you've ended up where you've ended up. That's a pretty damn incredible story, isn't it? I mean, when Yeah. When did you you're going sailing sort of relatively socially, but then you ended up, like you say, doing this these worlds. But there must have been a point before that where you realised, holy God, I'm either good at this or I feel like I want to do this. What was the crossover point for you? Because it's a big decision to push as hard as you have.
Yeah, I think of course, a lot of us are very competitive naturally, and then I don't know if it came from my parents as much with the work, like the work ethic that they have with the farm and everything like that, and putting everything in to it. But I've found that with sailing, almost like looking up to my dad and how he is with the farm, and it's his life's work, it feels like I had that in sailing. Obviously didn't realize that when I was 14, but yeah, just naturally a very competitive person. And then I guess when Jim said to me that he believed in me was a huge turning point for me, and moving to Auckland and being surrounded by professional athletes and getting to meet pro sailors and everything really changed my perspective, and saw that it was an option. And as soon as I started sailing the net crewing foiling classes, it was,
wow,
straight into it.
I love it.
Yeah, so I think that's
what an
cool.
opportunity.
Yeah. So you obviously, I'm suspecting that the neighbour is pretty proud these days.
Yeah, no, it's really cool going home. Actually, I love seeing everyone. But it hasn't changed, which is great.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Oh, what sort of orchards you got?
Well, it's all gone actually, but it was avocados.
Wow.
But there's one tree left. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But no.
Wow. Well, people don't, think. And so you've had to try and create this career. Like, you're out there doing everything. Obviously, you went to university because you got an accounting and international business degree, I think.
Yeah, I don't want to disregard that as a thing, but yeah, it's pretty quite funny. I mean, I definitely studied and worked hard for it, but I can't see myself ever being an accountant, that's for sure.
Just being super good at doing your receipts when travelling.
That's right.
You would think that, but
take it from us. It's a good thing to have.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a cool thing. And I think the other thing that I really want to highlight before we sort of get in depth with this, trying to set the background, is that the opportunity you have with SailGP, you're in a competitive situation for that. You went up against a bunch of talented New Zealand sailors to get that spot. So you had to fight for that spot and prove yourself. What do you think it was that made them choose you? Have you had that conversation?
It's an interesting question. I haven't had it directly with Pete and Blair. Obviously, it was 6 of us trialing, and Erica Dawson and I got chosen.
Mm-hmm.
I think a part of it, or a lot of it, was because of the foiling background and the understanding of faster boat sailing, I guess, and under that pressured environment. And it felt like the trials we did maybe brought that out, like a bit of pressure, and I felt like I was trying to learn as fast as possible. Again, the 6 of us were all pretty equal, I'd say, in how we approached it. So, yeah, maybe I should ask Blair tomorrow.
Yeah. Just say, hey, the boys last night were wondering.
Yeah, why me?
I mean, it is pretty critical for understanding, what the shine was. And I reckon I'm going to be sort of presumptive a little bit here in that I reckon, with a lot of interviews, you would get a question about what you've learnt from the boys and blah, blah, blah. But I'm really interested to know what you've taught them. Everyone has something, right? Like what do you
totally,
think
100%.
that, Could it be, what do you reckon you do really well for the team and they've picked up from you?
Another great question. I mean, everyone's had a different experience in life, and I think I add to the team, not so much bring something new as such, but really, being female as well, you have a very different view on, well, not very different, but a different view on things. And I think hopefully, one, I bring some good chat, but also
banter. We love the banter.
I was going to say I don't want to say disregard my sailing abilities, but hopefully a bit of
the banter's strong.
That's a given. I think you nailed it earlier. I think you said hard work and determination is probably the one I pick up on. Because you know.
I mean, we started in COVID, and I'm not going to lie, it's brought a lot of challenges, and I think resilience and the ability to be open to learning was a massive thing for me. And then a bit of sailing background, I guess. Hopefully, add some value there.
I love it.
Possibly.
I love it.
So so you just said you've learned a bit. What is the biggest thing you've taken out from the last couple of years? Because I would love to be in that situation and go sailing on these boats. I mean, it's just one of those things.
You wouldn't be able to, BP. You just stand up, fall over straight away.
I know.
Yeah.
But the point is
too fast. Yeah. There he goes.
The point is, what have you actually taken from it? From a team perspective, from a crew, from a sailing perspective?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to give you a short answer, but the biggest part is you'd be nowhere without each other. I think the 4 boys with Pete, Blair, Andy, and Josh, and obviously there's a huge team around them, but collectively they're like a powerhouse in sailing, right? And they'd be successful without each other, but nowhere near where they are. And the ability, if you're in that environment, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, it's insane how much you learn. And I got to experience, obviously with SailGP the last 2 years, but at the beginning of the year with Team New Zealand, a part of the AC40 program, the 2-boat stuff, for a few months, it shocked me how much you learn when you're fully immersed in it. And I guess thriving off each other, and that's a big part of what I've learned, as well as good communication in pressured environments. I think that's massive. Yeah, with SailGP, it's just highlighted so much, and you get all the video on boards and the teams that are winning on a weekend. Is you watch them, and it's very apparent that they're kind of in sync and they're communicating, they're all on the same page, and obviously very skilled and put in a lot of work technically, but they're able to make the right decisions at the right time, and that's a lot to do with good communication, which is, good skills in life, but it just is really highlighted.
On the decision-making process, I mean, traditionally a yachty would go out, of course, have a look at the course, see what the wind's doing, and have a bit of a plan. But given such short races, such a small racetrack, is it more like a chess game, knowing if you're in this particular position, the best way to attack or defend is either A, B, C, or D? Or is still enough fly by your pants?
Well, I think Pete would like it like that, but then we're all chasing him around. So, it's definitely more like a chess game in SailGP, I would say. There's only a limited number of moves, I guess, you can do well. So it does become quite a lot like that. It's definitely still very tactical, but with 6 people on board going at the speeds that we are doing, you've got to there's limitations in such a short course that lead it towards that.
Do you have any cool names for particular manoeuvres? E.g.
No, but the Aussies do more so.
Yeah.
Good on the Aussies.
Yeah, not trying to pay them a compliment, but
I think the top mark
Do that.
tack
Yeah.
bear away launch crash, they call that the Dino.
yeah. Yeah, unfortunately.
One of the things, just while we're talking SailGP and your point about communication, like I've sort of been watching, we've discussed it on the show quite a bit, is that the teams that are most successful seem to get on the best. It's that long-term friendship and understanding of each other and that sort of feel for each other. And so, the Aussie team are pretty tight. Your team are pretty tight. The Frenchies, the French team has come through and they've all sort of been sailing together for a long time and suddenly they're right to the front. I'm intrigued if that really highlights just how much of a teamwork boat the SailGP boat is, and just how important it is when it comes to foiling and this whole game of foiling and being able to work together intuitively. Is it the same on the AC boats?
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's the 40. It's very similar, I'd say. It's always, I think it's quite a change from the 50, how the setup is on the 40, but you rely on each other. I can't see 180 degrees from when I was helming, so you've really got to rely on. I was on port helm for most of it, and you've got to rely on the two guys to win with, which was Josh Jr. and Sam Meach, on their communication as well, and obviously I was learning heaps off them and learning on the go. So yeah, I think it's a smaller dynamic and less important, but it's, you're putting a lot of trust in everyone when you're going at those speeds, really. It's very heightened.
Do you actually steer from the leeward side or the windward side, or switch it up?
It depends if we're closing in on someone at 30 knots. My Josh gets quite tense, so I can feel his hands going on the wheel. He gets stressed. We were playing around with it a lot, and I think it would be interesting to see how they do it going into the cup. But very situation dependent.
One of the things we're really keen on is to ramp up the banter. The Aussies are taking on a lot of banter going on and off the water, just talking trash to each other. But the way you were talking then, where you're closing in on someone, have you thought about putting a little speaker system on the boat and start playing the theme from Jaws as you're getting closer? Like, no.
Mine hasn't so quick.
He's just thinking about it. He's loving it.
I think you need to tap into their radio frequency. just someone from the chase boat, get someone just with the ultimate banter going on, just getting into their heads.
Well, in SailGP, actually, there's an alarm that goes off if you're starting to get close to a collision course, so you could just go over.
Oh yeah,
with that.
Just keep beeping that off.
Yeah.
Love
it. Because you can hear the coaches as well now. So, if you could get your coach just to wander into the front, the Australian coach, and just take his headphone and just start ripping in.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation at the moment with that, with the booth. They're calling it coach's booth, how that's going to play into things. But yeah, it's adding a really different dynamic, which is quite cool.
It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's good. SailGP can try everything. I love it. Throw it all out there and see how we go.
I'm seeing a whole new sort of element to the commentary. I'm seeing this little banter side of things coming to it. I think that'll be good.
It's like you can press the red button.
Yeah.
Get ultimate banter.
Yeah. Different levels of banter.
I feel
Black
like
button.
You guys might have a new job.
Steady banter.
Mild banter.
Yeah, I don't think SailGP are going to hire us.
No.
Just between you and me, I don't think. I've already worked for him for a while, and I certainly push Russell's buttons a lot. but his guests love me, so.
So what you're saying, we don't.
Oh,
You said in.
sorry, BP, you broke up.
Sounds good, BP.
We just had a big breakup from you, BP.
Am I dropping out? I've got a
Sorry.
bandwidth problem, have I?
You're good, mate. Just keep going. Hit us again.
No, it's all right. Moment's lost.
Oh, okay. Actually, while BP's trying to remember his moment, AC on the women's team for the cup. Have you decided the team yet in New Zealand camp? Is that decided?
No, we have the youth team trials are mid-November back in Auckland, and then the women's a month later, straight after Dubai SailGP. It's a kind of a full week trial in Team New Zealand, which will be really good actually. There's 7 of us, 7 or 8 trialing for the women's.
Yep.
And I think it's meant to go down to kind of 5 or 4 women. So yeah, it should be bloody good.
And what's the program for that? Simulator plus boat plus a whole bunch
Great
of other things?
question.
You don't know.
He's good at that.
All that research.
I think obviously very simulator, a lot of involvement with the simulator, and then I think it's just a full week of work basically at Team New Zealand. So on the tools, probably
buffing the boat, wet sanding the
boat, just getting things ready for the next regatta. Really,
yeah, basically.
Fuck, receipts again. Damn it.
Lucky I got that accounting degree.
It will
whole
be.
new meaning to the word balance, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's hopefully get out on the water a bit, but I don't think the 40 will be traveling from Saudi then. So yeah, a lot of simulator, and then I guess it'll be a huge week learning how people work together and how that plays out. And so obviously we all know each other because it's a small group, but it's such a different dynamic being on the 40 and racing together and spending a year trying to get the best out of each other. So it'll be really interesting to see how it plays out and how that week goes and how the selectors decide. But yeah, it'll be really good.
You got to think that there's a lot of a lot of you would have all sailed together on this ETF 26, I'm guessing, and there's got to be a lot of observation of how that works together. And, you've obviously changed up the team a little bit with some of your colleagues going more focused back onto the Olympics. So, I feel that this ETF 26 element is going to be a crucial part of it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's the last 2 years have been really interesting. I agree with you and understanding that we've learned a lot of different dynamics with it. The selectors, they obviously know about the program, but none of them have really been involved with it. So it's quite good in the sense that they're removed from everyone and they don't have a bias. But how we get into the simulator together and work together, there's a lot of background with it from the ETF, so that will definitely play out. And it's been a perfect boat for it. The 4-person dynamic and trying to learn from the very beginning has been a really good experience.
Who's the selector?
Who are the selectors?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's good. Nice thought.
Yeah.
Sorry,
All that research we do.
Who are the selectors?
I mean, there's quite a few actually. Josh Jr. So obviously he does know everyone. Kevin Shoebridge, Ray Davies, Susan McFadden. I don't know. There's a few that you might not know, and then Polly Powery. And I might be missing 1 or 2, but yeah, it's a really diverse group. And everyone kind of knows them, but then, it's a really professional selection panel. So yeah, it'll be really interesting.
Yeah, and I imagine just the working together. Traditionally, Team New Zealand have done that very well, and they're a very tight-knit group. So to maintain that culture, I'm guessing is going to be a massive part of it. So,
yeah, even talking to the guys there, I think they're really, well, I know they are really excited to bring in more people. Obviously, the Cup is the number one priority, but I talk to adults quite a lot on the rib, and it surprised me how, I mean, I didn't really know him before, but surprised me how eager he was for, younger and women to be involved with the program. And so, yeah, it's such a small group in there, you're right, of sailors, and I think they really want to share their knowledge. I mean, everyone likes talking about what they know, right? So
yeah.
It's going to be really interesting, and I think it's such a good opportunity for not just Kiwis, but everyone around the world to really lift that next generation, because I do think there's a gap right now in the knowledge that's being shared from, all the SailGP sailors. Is the same generations that's been there since before Bermuda, and trying to bridge that gap is, it's going to be perfect with the AC40 program.
It's very cool. It is very cool. I just am so happy to see it. So many careers have been launched by doing youth programs at the Cup, and now with the women's program as well. I think that's going to be good. What's going to be more important for you at the Cup? Will it be winning the Women's America's Cup, or will it just be beating Australia?
Oh, you reading my notes?
Well, I mean, it's by 100% not a given that I'm doing it. I need to go through a full trial.
Copy.
Everything like that. Yeah. Don't want to come across as in it at all. But, I mean, 100% high priority on beating Australia.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Goes without saying.
Righto.
Yeah,
we would have
called you Pete if you'd said, we don't even think about Australia. Like too diplomatic an answer, we would have ripped you.
Yeah. More banter.
Bring it on.
All right, so Liv, busy times ahead, but have been just as busy this season. Just want to step us through what you've been doing between SailGP, Sailing the 40, the ETF, all those sorts of things.
Yeah, I mean, it has been a big year, actually. It's the call up on Christmas Day last year from Blair asking if I wanted to come and do some 40 sailing for a few months.
Wow. Just
casually has been really sick, actually. The whole few months was awesome. And having
was that a better Christmas present than your Christmas presents?
Yeah, it was an interesting time, actually. But it was, that was bloody good, actually. And with SailGP, I mean, it's been a pretty turbulent last few months with San Fran, and then,
of course,
yeah, with you guys, yeah.
I mean, we kind of started off the year with Singapore, where the boat got struck by lightning, and then had a lot of different dynamics with Christchurch, which was an awesome home event. Going into San Fran, obviously a bit disappointed there, and then we started off Chicago with a win, which was epic. Went into LA with a bad result, and then kind of came into Saint-Tropez and obviously had the wing stuff. So it's been a bit of a roller coaster with SailGP. It's been awesome, but really excited to get back racing this week in Cadiz with our new wing, hopefully. And then between
you won't be using the old one.
Yeah, exactly. And then in between that, with the ETF series, has been kind of 5 events all up here in Europe with Live Ocean Racing, and that's kind of been full time. So looking forward to going home in a couple of weeks and looking at what the next 18 months looks like, really.
Wow.
Stare at some trees for a while.
Yeah. Well, there's not many left.
You did. We touched on how we found you. Obviously, the ETF26 regatta you just had in Mar Menor, Los Alcaceres, one of my favourite places to sail. You did that this week. Do you want to just run through the boat a bit for us? Because there's probably a lot of listeners out there that don't know, first of all, there's a tour and what sort of boat it is.
Yeah, well, it's a 26-foot foiling cat. So it's French. I mean, Nick, you could probably start talking about this or bring him into it.
I'm actually just giving it a few tweaks here in the office now. I think you'll find next week they'll perform a bit better.
Yeah. So next week these new rudders will start rocking up and these elevators and all sorts of shit.
Yeah, we do. Well, we're in the midst of getting some new main foils, so
that's
curious to hear about that.
Bossy's done
that. Yeah, done. So it's a French-based circuit, or it started in France, kind of I think 5 years ago, and was very French. All French teams really, and then in the last 2 years it's shifted, so there's 12 boats made currently, but a lot of interest in the class, and it's a 5 regatta series predominantly. We're just talking about what that looks like next year, but slowly shifting away from all events being in France. So we're down here in Mar Menor, which I completely agree has been awesome, definitely the best regatta we've done so far, and it's the same style of racing as SailGP, so they mix it up a bit. When it's really light and really windy, they'll do upwind starts to windward lewards, and then when it's kind of perfect foiling breeze, we go for reaching starts and 2 laps, and then classic French style, we do a few raids, they call them, so long distance races around. But yeah, the boat itself, they've just put in a rudder rake system. So been really trying to push the technical development of the class. And there's a few people getting involved that are really trying to push it as well. So we've got that, which has really stepped up the boat, but also looking at a main foil development and trying to get foiling upwind basically. But right now it kind of only foils reaching downwind and 8-9 knots. So yeah, there's definitely a few developments that can happen, and the class are really looking
don't worry
into
about it. That'll be coming.
Yeah.
So unlike
Next
the name
one.
suggests, maybe it's not all that easy to fly.
Yeah, no, that's the first thing everyone says after their first day sailing. They're like, why is this called
the easy to fly?
Yeah.
Just a tip: the foil design Bicey's been working on for years is a foiling board.
Rainbow.
Yeah, but it has stubby holders at the top, so you can just drop your beer in there.
It's more to create the stable platform that you don't spill a beer.
Yeah, that's
essentially.
Okay. So you've obviously, I mean, you did last year, and a bunch of the crews changed out this year. Is that made much difference?
Yeah. Last year we had a predominantly women with the 5 women with us. So Molly, Jo, Erica, Alex and myself. And it was a bit inconsistent with they could only do 3 out of the 5 events, and that we felt like was a big gap. And so came into this year and have had the same team all year, which it's been awesome actually. We felt a big shift with it, and it's youth and women this year, so definitely a different dynamic. We've got a couple of really young guys involved, which has been fun. But yeah, if anyone calls me mum, I get pretty angry, so that's a dynamic I haven't had before.
Well, the good one about that though, if they do call you mum, you're allowed to give them a little clip as well.
Yeah. Well, words have been said.
Words have been said. I love it. I'm going to say that list of the female list that you just reeled off, ton of fun, those ladies. They're great human beings. So I bet you had a really good time sailing with them.
Yeah, it was. We were seriously competitive from the beginning in the class with them, and it was awesome. It was just, you touched on it earlier. They're committed to the Olympics, and you can't do that half in, half out at all. So fully respected their decision this year. But yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Well, I think Bicey's touching on something there. If they're going to call your mum, then just make sure you don't let them go out at night time.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah, we had the last night of the season, and I think a few of them are feeling pretty precious this morning.
That's where you get the saucepans out, Mum.
I love it. So with the Live Ocean thing, that's a part of the charity that Blair and Pete run. So just explain that for everyone that's listening so we understand a bit more about that.
Yeah, so with the foundation side that started, we're about to have the 4th birthday of it. So they started it after the ocean race. The boys, I think, spent kind of the year after the ocean race realizing, well, they got shocked by the state of the ocean as they sailed around it, and from there wanted to do something and use their platform with it. So they spent a year kind of discussing what that looked like, and the Live Ocean Foundation kind of came out of that and have, I think, 5 or 6 people working for it. So Sally Patterson's the CEO, and she runs the foundation, and they do a lot of work, not just in New Zealand, but globally as well, with kind of pushing things to... Sorry, there's something outside.
Easily distracted. You found their weakness.
Yeah, no, you haven't. No, you didn't.
Continue.
No, so they do a lot of work in New Zealand trying to push to change the protection of the ocean and raise awareness around the health of it. And from there as well, I think Pete and Blair always had a vision of racing under the same kind of banner, as you'd put it. So I don't think they ever expected to start it this early. They always had the vision that I think possibly in a few years they'd race under it again to do some around the world races. But we were talking a couple of years ago, actually, this time in Cadiz, when they announced women were going to race on the Ep230, that there was a huge gap with women's high performance sailing and the opportunities there. And that's kind of where it all started. It was just in a hotel room with Erica, Pete and Blair, and saying, well, we kind of need to do something about this. And I was just really keen to push it. And it's actually been insane when I look back on it. The guys never for a second, doubted. They just went all in and really wanted to make things happen. And it always amazes me that they're just very action orientated. And so using their platform started Live Ocean Racing, which is completely different to the foundation, but is under the basis of, using athletes' voice to share the message and show awareness around the state of our oceans. So it's been a real journey, but it's really cool to be have 2 folds to it. So obviously using and racing around the world and having youth and women and lifting that up, but then also racing kind of on and for the ocean is how we talk about it. And so, I feel really proud, I guess, to be racing under the banner, but it's, I think, only going to grow from here, really.
Is there any measurable impact? Has there been? I mean, it's 4 years since you said since the boys started it. Has there been a way of measuring the impact that it's had? In terms of whatever the actual main mission is.
Yeah, so I guess it's quite New Zealand, not focus. Obviously, it's quite New Zealand focus. Like in New Zealand, we have a huge amount of ocean floor, so it's a lot of the action is being just focused on there, and the team have been really pushing for more protection. A lot highlighting the state of the Haureki Gulf, and that's kind of shifting at the moment. There's been a lot of bills passed, a lot of kind of pushing from the foundation to get more protection, and that's kind of happening right now, which is really cool. And then a lot of what they do is find money to then support projects. So there's kind of 5 or 6 main projects that have been heavily supported from Live Ocean. And I think if anyone's really interested in learning more about it, the website and all the social media side of it is really filled a lot with information. But also from a athlete point of view, it's definitely using our voice. And I'm really learning, because obviously I am from a farming background, which is I find quite hard sometimes, because agriculture is such a sticking point for climate change, and so feel sometimes quite contradictory. But it's, for me, not coming from an ocean background, I'm learning so much and trying to use that as a relatable thing for the everyday person, that I am shocked by the state of our ocean and how little it is protected. And it's particularly New Zealand, it's so much of our land is protected, but it's a ridiculous number, like 0.04% of our ocean is. And we're still, in some parts bottom trawling and all these type of actions that could be so easily banned. And I think that, I've learned so much in the last 2 years and have so far to go. But for me, getting more comfortable talking about it and, using my voice, I think, is the most powerful thing I can do to try and get people to realize that we don't have like the ocean is dying, and we need to do more about it.
Well, it's fair to say, I mean, it's one of those ones that have, like, if you're yachting these days and haven't heard of it, there's something wrong. Whereas there are a lot of other charities around in yachting that people haven't heard of. So as far as using, like you say, the athletes and the sport of sailing to get that voice out there, that's the strength right there. So I'd urge the listeners to check it out. Go,
I agree.
Check it out online.
It's just it's
Live Ocean.
One of the things is it's understanding, changing your understanding. Like, I think we've all grew up, understanding one thing or not understanding at all, and now we've become more aware, and these sorts of foundations are making that difference for us. It's certainly been brought home to us. So all for it. Good on you. With the next 18 months, what does it look like in your perfect world? Do you want to say that? Because, we don't want to jinx it. Just remember, you are on Barkarati.
And you are on Barkarati.
The reverse curse.
Could be the reverse curse coming your way.
Applies here, pretty much guaranteed.
Well, I didn't know about that.
Do you not know?
No, I did not know this.
Yeah,
you're just going to win everything from now on in. So
once you come on Barkarati, you win.
Do you know what the reverse curse is?
No, I don't. Please explain.
So your favourite rugby player is going for a shot for goal, right? And the commentator goes, he never misses this. We might as well turn around, and go back to the centre. And next thing you know, he misses it. So that's the commentator's curse. Okay. Now, when you come on Barkarati, we've found that every time we have someone on, they go and do something really good. So we've called it the reverse curse.
I love it. Well, I would have signed up for this earlier. That's great.
You'll get your T-shirt with it on it in your merch pack. Just not sure where to send it.
or whether it'll get there.
There's definitely a perfect world scenario. I think next 18 months, obviously with SailGP, a lot of exciting events coming up, and no wing breaking could be a good start.
Yeah,
Good start. Yeah,
love it.
Take out a few podiums. Really working towards winning in San Fran next year is a huge push for us and a big focus. And then, definitely want to be helming the women's AC. That's a huge goal, but want to be involved regardless. I think it's going to be an epic event, especially for.
Can't wait, to be honest.
Yeah. I can't wait. It's
Do you
going to
have
be awesome.
a preferred side that you want to steer from, port or starboard?
What do you think?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Incoming. Closing speed.
I mean, I've learned a lot in the last 2 years with leading a team, and I really enjoy that factor. So I'd love to be, kind of leading that team if possible, but I just want to be involved as well. So really pushing to be on there, and then looking at doing a bit of other yachting as well, trying to get into wing foiling.
Yeah.
Trying not to get stabbed.
Oh, God. I've felt safer in
I've
gun
still got
battles.
visions of Bicey walking into the garage hitting the foil. That just makes me laugh.
Straight in the eyeball.
Damn it. Damn foiling.
Hey, I've got to ask, speaking of taking leadership, on the 50, where you go across before a manoeuvre, like before the tackle of the job, you go across first and you take the helm through that. Ever come close to, just as Pete's running across, just flicking it back, throw him off the boat, just for a bit of laugh? You ever thought
Get
about
him hanging
that?
over the side from the harness?
We actually had to catch him a couple of times, but no, definitely not.
I've just got
Never
this
do that.
crazy
That's always too great.
vision of you holding onto the helm and Pete trying to jump in, and then you just turn around and go away.
Yeah.
Push him away.
No. Yeah. No, it's I mean, there's definitely the dynamic of if people can't do events, I'd for sure want to be helming in SailGP at some point and working towards that. But don't see that happening in the next 18 months, but that's definitely a long-term goal. So working towards it.
What's the actual program look like next year as far as two competing brands using the same sailors? Is there ever going to be a complete crossover, or there's enough respect to kind of for each event, so to speak?
Another great question from you.
Appreciate
I don't think you've brought the right person on to answer all your questions almost.
I really want your view.
I think there's a lot of challenges, not just for our team, but obviously you see that across quite a few of the teams. It's going to be a dynamic year, I think, with the Cup. There's obviously a lot of other logistics and people involved, and the design process and the testing there. So I think there will definitely be points where it will be a bit conflicting from my point of view, but it's a huge priority for both teams to get as much racing in as possible, and SailGP is obviously so good for that. So I think they complement each other, but again, the Cup is their priority. Yeah. I'd say.
There's got to be an element, though, and we've been wondering about it on the show, is that you go and sail the F50, and then as soon as that race is over, boom, straight onto the AC boat, and it's got everything's different, right? Everything is completely different. I'm certain of that. And I'm wondering, like, when you come back onto SailGP, you're racing for big dollars, like, how long does it take everyone to get back in the rhythm? Is it 15 minutes or is it a couple of days?
I think it's very condition dependent, because it's ridiculous in SailGP how little time we get to train, really.
That's right.
It's I'd say actually with the comms and how we're preparing for events, that stuff is pretty easy, especially because the guys sail with each other all the time. And then I go to Barcelona and spend a few days with them before we go to events. So it's actually quite synchronized with that. I'd say it takes, technique-wise, though, the guys 10 minutes maybe.
Oh,
That's
right.
insane.
What about for you from the ETF? Because
it's a lot of my role is comms, and so you can practice that before you get on the boat. It's probably more the getting used to, again, like the G-force and everything that involves and the little things. And then we go into 4-up and I grind, and that probably I don't think I've actually gotten used to that yet because we get so little time. So yeah, probably the whole time when you see me.
So ETF, F50, AC40,
winging, dinging the wing,
NACRA, AC75.
Not NACRA.
Nope, NACRA's gone.
No, which is your favourite?
Oh, okay.
Oh, which is my favourite?
Best and worst. Best and worst.
Oh, best and worst. Oh, that's. I mean, the 50 and 40 are pretty on par. I don't know how I'd go about choosing it.
Yeah.
I actually loved sailing the Phantom. I don't know if you guys have ever.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the is it the Super Foiler? The Aussie. I feel like I'd love that.
No.
It just.
Yeah. Nah.
I've never done it, but I feel like it would be a bit of me.
No, that's death right there.
You could have picked him up for about $10, I think.
Yeah. And then I think the better I get at winging, maybe it is seriously fun. Will go off in my book, and then I really want to actually get back into. Well, not get back into the NACRA, but try it with the upwind foiling.
Yeah. Because they've done all that work.
Good.
They've done all that work with adjustable rudders now. That's their big change, really. That's sort of given that.
With the diff and but you can't go past the E50 and the 40 really.
Yeah. Okay, we're sort of out of time. We're right near the end of our time, but there's one critical question we have to ask. Like, what's the worst wipeout you've had? You've done all these foiling boats. I made the joke about how dangerous it is, trying to learn to drive on the wingding. And we've seen that excellent footage from the NACRA 17, that bloody joint, was it the American team? I think it was.
Yeah, in New Zealand. Yeah.
What's the worst one?
Oh, well, we have actually, I've done that, just not on camera. So could have been famous a few years ago, but.
Could have been famous.
Never leave home without a camera when you're in the sailing world.
Yeah, exactly. We had a pretty bad one where I got clothesline, capsized to windward was a similar thing, and then I got the trap wrapped around my neck actually, so it looked like it wasn't a good look for a few weeks. Doesn't sound like a fun wipeout though.
No, at all.
But that was pretty full on, and then there's been a lot of sketchy moments with the boys. But no capsizes, so probably not a good answer for you guys, but nothing that comes to mind.
Okay.
There you go.
Cool. All right. I think we're done. We've run out of time, unfortunately, but we've passed on you the reverse curse, so life's looking good for you in the future. That's a good thing. We know you got to take
live
off.
ocean. So you've got to make sure that that gets back across because live ocean's important to you.
Yeah.
And
no, thank you.
Enjoy your home time. Heading home enjoy heading back to see the fam. And thanks
thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for spending all your time with us, valuable time, Liv. It's been a ton of fun having a chat, and we'll look on with interest. We'll probably harass you non-stop going forward once you start just destroying everything, So we'll be looking for exclusives.
You can thank us later. That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely planning to spend a bit of time in Aussie, so hopefully I can see you guys there.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Right,
we'll be around.
Look forward to it.
Great chatting. Cheers.
No, thank
Beauty.
you.
Thanks,
you.
Liv. Busy times.
Oh,
Like I said, BP, and I
Yeah.
wasn't having a dig, but we wouldn't last 2 seconds on a boat
No.
like these.
no, we
That-
wouldn't.
that these
No,
things
don't
that
worry.
she's
I
flying
totally
around on.
Totally understand.
But how cool to be a pro yachty in this day and age.
That was my
Just
point.
going fast
Oh, man.
everywhere.
Just
Yeah.
What do you got going on today? Oh, just going to go on the AC40. What are you doing tomorrow? Well, got to fly to the SailGP.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Then what? Oh, just over to the Ep230s for a regatta. Then I'll pop back to the AC40. Why not?
God,
Might do a bit of winging in the meantime.
Oh, I got a couple of days off. Go and get some dinging going on.
Yeah.
how jealous are we? That was all
Oh.
jealousy, wasn't it? We're all jealous.
Yeah, 100%.
100%
Yeah,
jealous.
for sure.
100%
Yeah.
jealous.
I'm just going to get on my bike and go riding on some cobbles.
I'm gonna
Uh,
go and do a single-hander regatta next weekend, boys. That's mine. No falling allowed. So
Really?
yeah.
How many single-handed boats have you got now?
2.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I've got no friends. I will say that, boys, of course, heading off to do a regatta, and it's a country regatta, so there's no. We're basically camping on the lawn. So I've been into the Raddick shop. Got my breakfast, got my meals, my drinks, and I'm sweet. I don't have
Nice.
any needs. I'll just pull up in the van, which you boys have seen the van.
Van's decked out, ready to
Decked
go.
out, ready to
I
go.
like it.
Got my little stash of Raddicks, and I'm sweet. Life's easy. Just
Well,
have to
as
stop
they
at
say.
my mate Dan's on the way down, and I'm sweet.
Your mate
Oh,
Dan's.
Yeah, Dan. You know my mate Dan Murphy?
Oh, damn, right.
I've met him a few times.
For the for the non-Aussies.
He's sending me receipts.
For the non-Aussies, Dan Murphy's is the largest bottle shop in Australia. Like, it's a huge chain of bottle shops where
Well,
you
at
go.
least you've got your Radix. That's the important
That's
part.
right, yeah.
You
So
know, as they say,
Got to be healthy
as
on
they
one
say,
side.
the nutrition should be convenient and available anywhere, anytime.
Oh,
That's what
look at you
Is that what
go.
it says on your T-shirt?
it says on the packet that I opened up this morning.
But if
That's why we designed a product range with premium natural ingredients, appreciated by top athletes and busy professionals worldwide.
Well, there you go. There you go. And of course, if you go to the website, Radix Nutrition, and you buy your meals from there, you'll get type in Barkarati, one word, into the discount code, and you'll get a 10% discount. Thanks to
And
the
hot
team.
off the press, there is some new products coming. Stand by.
Oh, you're in tight. With
Standing
it,
by.
I'm in time.
Love it. Cool. Moving
Yeah,
on.
Well done. Well done.
Club events coming up. Other events. The dates for the St. Martin, 44th St. Martin Heineken Regatta and Heineken. I just gave you a free club. Horse. My mate Horse, who runs quite a large part of Heineken, sent me some beer. There you go.
Won't have to go to Dan's.
You won't have to go to Dan's, go straight to the producer. So that one's coming up. Obviously basically the largest regatta over in the Caribbean. 4
huge.
days of world-class racing. It's going to be huge at St. Martin. February 29 to March 3rd, 24. Pretty cool event to do. Any regrets not going to that lately?
Stay tuned.
Yes. Yeah. Life of Riley, mate. I'm just going to call you Riley from now on because you are living the life. I tell you.
Yeah, he certainly is.
Just for just a couple of islands across, obviously the Antigua Yacht Club getting destroyed. That's a bit sad. So sending
Oh yeah,
Was
see that
it
during
the
the
yacht
week.
club or the
Yacht Club Marina
office area?
Yeah.
Yeah, the marina area. So
Yeah.
it'd be either or the. Wow, what a story, eh?
Yeah, sad times. So a lot of sympathy there for you guys, and best. I hope you can recover. Another one to mention, of course, is today. We've already given it a plug a few weeks ago, but Barcelona's today, boys.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
About 28,000 boats on the
World's
start line
smallest yacht race.
for 13 miles.
yeah. And we also already mentioned on the show SailGP next weekend, so they're in Cadiz.
See the see the wing put on the plane, then on the truck, and all sorts of logistics. So that, as Liv was saying, new wing going in.
You see, they're actually moving
hot off of Barkarati. Things are looking good for them.
What do they call it? What's their manufacturer called? I've forgotten the name. What do they call themselves?
Four.
Huh?
Four boat builders.
No, yeah. But they call it something for SailGP. I've got a mental.
SailGP Technologies.
SailGP Tech. They're moving it to Europe, to the UK. I think. Yeah,
correct. Yeah.
So big takeover. Yeah. One of their military clients, I think, has come swooping in and bought up a lot of things or helping out with that. So. So I guess it'll be easier
to see it go out of NZ though. I mean, some highly skilled craftsmen and women as part of that team.
Yep.
Logistically though, you kind of get it.
But I can relate to that. Heading down that part of the world, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. All right, moving on. The Jack Lloyd Listener of the Week, presented by Vycobi for 12 months. Every month, Vycobi will be
a very happy winner from last week.
We
get too into it.
We do.
How excited is he? The inaugural winner.
The inaugural winner. I was just trying to. We had a great outcome, and the banter's been going backwards and forwards during the week, which has been great. Yeah, if you do send something in and you get a chance.
You will be going in the draw.
You will be going in the draw.
Because we choose it. Basically, your name will be on the list.
There's got to be a quality element to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not like this week.
Yeah.
No, just jokes.
Well, first off, shall we get into them for this week? Because
I think we should.
There's some controversy going to come in here, and I want to discuss first off the email from Mark Disney. Mark Disney,
SpongeBob.
Yeah. I think it was a good email. I think.
I think it's Mark. It's Mark through and through. Those who don't know, Mark is a long-time listener and very enthusiastic about bar karate.
Okay, well, he did a great job.
But he does have an element of OCD.
So his email: congratulations on announcing to the planet that you centralised the bar karate logo in about 3 seconds after 4 years of us all moaning about it. Might not all of you been moaning, Mark, just in case. There is a problem. Yes, you've nudged it over to the right a bit, but it's still OCS and left of centre by quite a few millimetres. Yes, there are a lot of OCD listeners out there, and I accept that I'm CDO. That's like OCD, but a more extreme version where all the letters have to be correct alphabetical order. I can only assume in the same rhyming tone of cock-a-doodle-doo, you nudge it over a bit and sort of, that's it, that'll do.
That'll do.
You know exactly what I thought?
What?
Was if I don't do it perfect, it'll really piss Disney off. This will be fucking great.
It worked. Disney.
If you're unlucky, the Swedes might even think Bice by name, Bice by nature. Bearing in mind you're a boat builder by trade and a merchant of high-end rigging, it concerns me that your lack of attention to detail has been applied to positioning of the all-important logo. Maybe you should have spent 10 seconds rather than 3 on sorting it out. Maybe we should just buy you a ruler or a set of vernier calipers, but that's a bit negative, and Jay always wants to embrace the positive. So on the positive vibe, maybe your next sponsorship deal for Barkarati should reach out to a popular optometry brand, which I won't spread because my wife doesn't work there and she is the second best optometrist in the world. Barkarati brought to you by Vycobi, Radix and optometry brands. See? There's not even a conflict of sponsorship. So you're catering for top athletes as well as normal human beings with failing eyesight. Good email, Mr. Disney. Lovely.
Yeah, love it. He's all over it. He loves the show.
Basically, Mark, I'll get straight onto it. Should have it finished, maybe 20 by 2027. So,
okay. The second one, boys. I don't know if you guys have got one because this one's controversial.
This
There's some controversy here.
Okay, go for it.
Right, we got an email in, and our administrative team saw this and were concerned. So we put it through to our legal team, and they have the same concerns. And what we are thinking is that one of our employees, one of our team, has sent an email in under a false name to try and win the Vycobi voucher. This is what we think.
Hello.
Hello. Now, this name that this person has created is Scott Watson. Okay. So Scott, inverted commas, talks nice about our last podcast, Nick Bears, and talks all sorts of stuff about that. Then came through with a lovely suggestion on a potential guest on the show, which was fantastic. And then wrote, at the very end, love the show and what you're doing for sailing. Now, this email went to Nick Bice. And what you're doing for sailing. Don't tell the others, Nick, but you are the funniest, right? And then it was signed Scott Watson, the Bice Commodore of MacKay Yacht Club. Now, Nick, that screams you all over. Have you attempted to win the Vycobi prize?
Well, I've not only attempted to win it, but I've also sent my other version of myself in MacKay a couple of T-shirts as well, because that's how it all started. He ordered some T-shirts, but I think he forgot he ordered them.
Oh, yeah, just that's talk about buttering up our audience. So you send him a few T-shirts and he writes nice things about you.
So, Scott, you'll not only get the 2 T-shirts you've ordered, you'll probably get a 3rd and a 4th and maybe a few stickers as well. So, well done, Scott. You know how to play the room.
It was funny. It was funny.
Yep.
Yeah, it was cool.
Good
My wife's
on
trying to distract me. If you just hold on one sec, my beautiful wife. 1 sec. So, because...
It's hot time with Bice.
Rightio, man. What do we got on this week? What we do have on is, we'll be keeping an eye on it. We spoke about it back in the day, and the start time changed, but the Sydney to Auckland has started. A few boats on the start line there, making their way over to Auckland. They're only 1 day in at the time of recording, so nothing really to report on yet, but we'll be getting close to probably across the Tasman this time next week. So we'll have a bit more to report on there.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to bring in on that because obviously it's a pretty small field. It's being run by the Royal Prince Alfred Yacht Club with the Royal Arcana Yacht Club. I'd like to see... Hey? Akarana. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
It'd be nice to see a bunch more boats get into this one. Obviously, it's a pretty small field. It's 1,250 nautical miles. It's open to offshore cruising and racing yachts, super yachts, and ocean racing multis. It was originally conceived to get the boats over there to watch America's Cup, so that's how long it's been delayed. But it'd be a good race. I mean, if we could support it, then it's a easy way to get across to New Zealand in company, it'd be a good one to have. So, good best of luck to everyone out there, but it's on, just for those who don't know. Sorry to interrupt there, Mr. Bice.
All good. Just coming out of Saint Tropez, boys, as a bit of an observer, managed to go for a yacht one of the days on Galatea, the Wally Shento, and they finished a very respectable 3rd against, in the maxi class, Cannonball took that out with North Star 2nd. But I've got all the classics, gents. You would have lost your shit, Jordan. All the classic yachts, the way that they're sailed, the way that they look. Amazing.
I've been privileged to sail the classics at that place, and it is a big thing. I mean, every morning when that boat goes out and fires the cannon, and it's just it's full on.
Fires the cannon, and then the first day I arrived there, I was just having a little bit of a cruise around and went past the Capitan area.
Yeah.
And there's a little brass band started up. I'm like,
little brass band.
How cool is this? Then the next morning, I saw a French team. They were doing a few exercises before leaving the dock.
Oh, a few
So exercises in the so everyone winch now. Whoa.
in their bloody whites and the
full whites.
black and white striped tops.
Hoisting halyards now and doing like a hoisting type action on them.
Wow, St. Tropez, you can't go past it for a regatta. If anyone wants to go and see something special, this regatta is huge.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool.
Cool. Well done to all them, and that's basically the end of the season on the Med in that regard. So everyone's heading back to their respective yards or whatever the case may be. So, but a good week all round. Now, this one's for you, BP, Mini Transat.
Well, it is hot time, but the mini transit's always exciting, isn't it?
Yes.
What's happened, BP? What's your observations?
What I like about the mini transit, the first leg, if you like, because they've stopped in Canaries, obviously, is it's been taken out by two in both divisions, non-French, and that's. I mean, I love the fact that the event is on, but a Spanish guy's won Proto. Carlos Manera Pascual, Victor Mathau second, and Julian Leticio, that's how you pronounce that, third. But the things is the times. Now, this is Proto division. There was 10 minutes between first and second and an hour between first and third. So it's, the racing is phenomenal. You want to get yourself into a solo racing class. I mean, this class is just phenomenal. So that was a bit of a cool one there. But the fun one here is in series. So Michael Genderbein, he's from Belgium.
Oh, Gendo. Yeah.
Yeah, Gendo.
Yeah.
He's from Belgium, so he's gone down there from wherever Belgium is, and he's got taken out series division.
Sure. Well,
it's a made-up country.
Yeah, it's exactly right. Made-up country. Never heard of it before. The problem, the reason the French aren't winning is it's very hard to deploy French fishing boats in and around the Canaries. So
that region, yeah,
it's been difficult.
Justin Baradat from France, second, and Titoine Couvreur, however that is said, is third. Again, pretty close finishing, so there's a couple of hours between them. So awesome racing. They're all resting now up for a week or so. I don't know when the next start is, but we'll keep you posted on that. The big legs to come, obviously, from Canaries across to Guadeloupe. Hook into the trades, or just do what my Russian mate did on my boat years ago and go straight across the middle and just completely come last.
Yeah, cool. You know that great circle route? No, it's way better if you just go straight.
Go straight. Just straight line it. Draw a straight line from there to there and go on it.
Old mate Pete Gibbons-Ness, I think he's in. I think he's 50 50th in.
Came in 50th. Like I said last week, he got himself into that position, and I think, when you get out of the windows, it's like any race, you get yourself into the different weather patterns, and that's where they sort of consolidated their positions. But look, he's completed the first leg.
Yep.
Do you know who I was looking for, BP?
What's that?
I was trying to find, except for old mate Hugo Picard, went around the sailing Frenchman, and I couldn't find him. So
he was going to be doing it, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was campaigning for it, definitely. So I haven't.
He's not there.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. So
that I can see.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Frenchmen, gents, and this is one that you threw in there, Jordan. It slipped under my radar as the E-Sailing World Championship.
E-Sailing World Champs, yeah.
So, gaming, it's a thing, boys. It's coming. It's been there a while.
Yeah.
It's going to keep building.
So I tried to watch it.
Training for it.
Speaking of sport that's coming and being interesting, I tried to watch it. It wasn't.
Sailing's boring at the best of times, not to mention honest.
But Tristan Perron, a Frenchman, won. So what they did was they had a whole bunch of different events, but they had simulations of the NACRA 17, the 49er, and the J70.
J70?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so they raced a million bunch of events, and I don't know. I apologise for the massive fans out of it. If someone wants to write in and explain how to watch it better or how to see it better, go for it. I'm more than happy to listen. Arthur Farley from GB was second. And
he got up.
Another Frenchie who was in third. So I wonder if they have virtual fishing boats in
virtual fishing skippers.
I could see it now. So someone's sitting behind their computer, got the captain's hat on, got the pipe hanging out. Rightio. I'll sort these bastards out.
I'll tell you who was there. It's Bart Lambro.
What about the virtual bar karate barge?
Oh, yeah.
Now
that exists on every day.
Hey,
deploy.
The three of us there virtually sitting on the barge. That would be the way to do it.
I love it. But anyway,
that's how you watch it.
In terms of now, I guess I'm an outlier because from what I understand, they get massive ratings. These things, it's a massive thing. They talk about it quite seriously. I remember sitting in the airport in Cape Town with the dude behind it all, and he was telling me the numbers, and it was just mind blowing. So it's all fun and games. We're laughing about it, but I think it is huge.
I bet there's a bucket advertising money going to those programs. We sit here. We do. You're right. We sit here and laugh about it, but I bet there's a bunch of money going.
Yeah, and all those software companies have money, obviously. So she's
anyway. Good on her, mate.
All right, moving on, boys. And at the risk of a bit of self promotion, a few weeks ago, our friend from Australian Sailing, Glenn Stanaway, just sent me a quick note and said, "Oh, Bicey, do you mind just whacking together a few tips for kind of your average club sailor rate sailing under any sort of rating system?" So I just, a few quick tips that essentially don't cost you any money, but might be able to get a bit more performance out of your boat. And then, of course, my last tip was the final tip is you should listen to Bar Karate. 100% serious, 23% of the time. Just as a bit of a joke in the email, but it's gone out to the world.
I love it. Cool. Very cool.
And then finally, boys, we all saw it yesterday, but the Team Ineos LEQ6 or whatever it's called blew its rudder up yesterday.
Yeah.
I missed it.
How is the video?
Sorry.
Mate, the video
is insane.
So picture this, BP.
All right, picture it.
Picture this, Sicily, 1942. Straight out of the Golden Girls. So there's a chase boat alongside LEQ 12, 6, whatever, and you can just hear it winding up and up and up and getting faster and faster and faster and faster, and then a little wobble, and the boat almost does a 360, not flipping over, but just the rudder full blowout. Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing.
So quick. It came around so quick. The back was at the front. Instantly. It was insane to watch. And it's on her tow rate being towed at 30 knots, and she's just gone whack like that. Would have been some G-forces in that little experience. That's for damn sure.
Absolutely. It's like doing a handbrake in your mum's Magna. That one was.
You're all over it today, Bicey. Did you do handbrakes in your mum's Magna?
No, I ran over some glass. I'm pretty sure that's what. But the rim rolled off. Oh, okay. That's all from me. Sorry, boys. That's all from me.
I just want to highlight, you know how you've been crapping on about rainbows, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did you see, if you go, I found a page on the old book of faces called Scourmoth and Low Riders Australia. And
that one. I'm definitely on the Australian dinghy network or something. Historical dinghy network.
Yeah, no, you're on that one, but this is a different one. And 4 days ago, there were some photos put up there of a Scourmoth being built. And she's, it's still in the frame stages, but they've framed up. It's not only a framed up hull, but they've actually framed up the wings as well. You know, a lot of them have that sort of alloy wing bars in the old Scourmoths. Well, this one's timber framed up wings. So she's going to be a full glamour. Love it. You're looking for it, eh?
I'm typing it in now. Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is my day gone.
I'm just typing in Ineos. I'm just typing in Ineos wipeout.
Oh, you guys.
How's our commitment to the show?
Yeah, you guys.
We're watching
Just for the
TV while
listeners,
we're-
obviously, BP and Bice have only just woken up because it's early in the morning for them. They're both in Europe.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm lost for the day. See you guys. I've got to hang up now.
I love it. All right. Well, that is it. That is it for everything.
That is truly it. You're right.
Yeah, so we're done and dusted.
Cool, boys. Might just go readjust a few things here. But
Yep.
remember, just finally when we interviewed Mark Mills,
Yep.
and he was doing it from his design studio and had all the,
Oh, yeah.
the plans and stuff in the background.
Same.
Well, I'm looking at test models, all sorts of stuff here. A bit of a dagger board over there, a whole bunch of stuff. It's super cool.
It is very cool.
How is he going? Is he all good?
Shout out to Guillaume. I'll be heading down from a coffee shortly. So
Eddie.
Say good day. Say good day.
I'm going to go and visit Mark Mills. I really liked him. I love Guillaume as well. So just don't misinterpret that, Guillaume. But yeah. No, that's cool. All right. Well, that's good. Excellent. You enjoy your time there with the great man. And
Will do.
BP, best of luck. Get your surfing going on. You've bought the bike. You told me you're buying a surfboard and you bought a bike. So
I've bought a guitar.
Yeah. What? You brought a bike, a surfboard of the land. I like
Yeah,
it.
no, I've got it all. Just toys. I mean, they're nothing special, but they'll keep me busy.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the key to it.
All right, boys.
All right.
Right.
See you later.
So everyone, and remember, of course, if you go to Radix Nutrition and type into the discount code Bar Karate, you'll get a 10% discount and enjoy that fabulous Radix freeze-dried food when you're doing your next offshore event or just even your training, just to stay in front.
Training.
Go for it. Meals,
Nutrition
drinks.
should be convenient.
Okay. See you, everyone.
See ya.
Boys.